All right, folks. I'm not even gonna play like intro music or anything. It's just me coming out of the shoot and just here I am. I got distracted with doing some other stuff, so unfortunately, I didn't fire things up on the stroke of five of like I usually tend to do. So, okay, sorry, that was all me. I screwed up. So, we're gonna have an abbreviated podcast tonight, and unfortunately, it's gonna be a situation where I'm not pollinating over onto Facebook. So it's going to be strictly a YouTube only version tonight. So we're just simply just going to do the kind of shorter, more abbreviated version and go from there. So if you do see things flashing and beeping and what have you, I do actually have a oh one of my friends. I'm messaging him. He's one of my friends in Australia, and let me just hit him real fast. All right. So anyway, let me get out of this. Turn that off so it's not beeping, buzzing, carrying them on, what have you. Mrs. Dude already asked me if I wanted to have a Chick-fil-A, and unfortunately, no. Patriot Fever, appreciate you coming in the room. I'm a little bit of a doofus tonight, so I pretty much had like a side project going on, and it really, really distracted me to the point I'm now looking down at the clock going, oh, snap, it's like 9 plus. Ah! So that's where we are on that one, and unfortunately, I had to deal with things as it were, and of course, try to salvage some meaning therein of doing stuff. Okay, so anyway, that's pretty much where I am right here. Okay, so anyway, looking at stuff as it is, I shall therefore, and then shall endeavor. Oh no! All right, so let me move on from here. Looking at things in the schema stuff. There is, of course, copious news about Joe Kaka. So Joe Kaka doing his thing. He is consistently Joe Kaka. Joe Kaka will never stop being Joe Kaka. And of course, you see me doing stuff on the fly here because obviously I was not prepared. Yeah, but Joe Kaka. Yeah, Joe Kaka. My volume is way the hell down there. Hang on a second. Let me address that. My volume is down. Get out of here, you little booger. Okay, let's try that again. Joe Kaka. Yeah, Joe Kaka. Okay. Yeah, that Joe Kaka. Yep. Anyway, so looking at things as it is, we are seeing Joe Kaka do his just stupidity on a daily basis, and it's really become blatantly obvious that something was sketch about the election. I mean, let me just do, and then you can throw this at anybody with basic math skills, okay? Anybody with basic math skills. The 2020 U.S. population is 330,598,493, okay? 65% of them are registered voters. So 213,799,467. Well, 66.2% of them voted, which is a voting population therein of 141,535,247. Now, the Trump votes recorded were 74,223,251. The Biden votes recorded were 81,281,888. Let's just stop for 1 second here. Now, if you guys know anything about Chinese culture, odd numbers are bad luck. Even numbers, with especially the number 8, is considered a lucky number. The more 8s you have on something, the better luck it is. Like, I knew a Chinese guy, and he did some car modifications, and he did some light racing, and his parents gave him a license plate to put on the car, and it was like all 8s. So it was 7 8s or 8 8s all the way getting across. And so literally it was considered more lucky. But if you look at this meme of which I posted up on my Gab account, which would be gab.com/dudejerky80s, his recorded votes are 81,281,888. Now, remember that 66.2% I said was 141,535,247. The total votes recorded in this election between Biden, Joe Kaka, shall I say. I really hate doing that, but Joe Kaka and, of course, Trump votes. The total votes recorded were 155,515,139. So where did the extra 13,969,892 votes come from? Interesting, huh? When you do math, stuff happens. Ken Schroeder Rybread, appreciate you coming on by, dude. Let's see. Between the cheeks of his hats. Oh, yeah, that's right. We truly know what is the purpose of, well, him who shall remain unnamed, unless we appropriately say it. Because his name is full on. That's right. He is Joe Kaka. That's right. He's Joe Kaka. Dude, I need to use Democrat math. Real math doesn't work for that. Well, obviously. I mean, when you see like this new math they have out that's so much more new and improved that the kids can't do the math problems in their heads, and it takes them half a page to go 8 plus 7, and they go, oh, no, hang on a second. We got to break this down with all these new formulaic versions, and this new math is so much more approachable and more accurate, and it's just better than the previous stuff. You have to use the new math. Ugh. You could do it in your head, folks. I mean, seriously. Catch on rubber. Toilet paper math would work. That's right. Just dig it out of your butt. Oh, good stuff like that there. I don't know if you guys saw this one or not, and I really would love to share this on camera, but unfortunately, I don't have the good enough software to do that. But imagine, if you would, a arm. So picture somebody's arm sitting there, right? Basically, they got a new tattoo, kind of red and irritated looking. What's the tattoo? Their COVID-19 vaccination card. Wow. Dude's name listed up there. CDC, logo in the corner, all the appropriate, what did you get? On which date did you get it? And blah, 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 from the doctor information. Yeah, dude got a tattooed, really good looking. I gotta give credit to the guy that actually did the ink. Really good fine line work. I mean, he did a photocopy on dude's arm. I mean, it right there looks friggin' perfect. But it is still that whole social justice warrior virtue signaling brain numbed idiocy of, I got the vaccination, I'm better than you, which I really don't get. I mean, if you want to get down hardcore, when you receive a vaccination, and this is basic engineering, folks. When you receive a vaccination, you put something into your body goes, oh, yeah, what is this crap? And then it goes, oh, no, this is bad juju. What is this stuff? And then the white cells are like, we're looking for a fight, man. We got to duke it out with somebody. We're looking for a fight. And then they go, oh, this vaccination's in here. Hey, it told me I got somebody new to fight. I recognize this as the invader. I now can clock it with good alacrity. So anyway, the deal about it is that's basically all vaccination is. It is a clue to the human body to spur your immunity to go, that's the invader. So when the invader comes cruising in, doing its usual spiel about, no, I'm perfectly harmless. I'm cool. I'm just hanging out here. It's fine. There's nothing going on here. It's perfectly neutral. We're good. We're not good or bad. We're just hanging out. That's when the white cells and the T cells go, oh, hell no. And they pounce on it and they proceed to chew it up into little itty bitty bits that your body then goes, these little bits of viruses are just delicious. So we're going to share this with all the other cells, and all the other cells now know that this is the invader. Take this thing on and hose it. Brings new member. Brings new meaning to the card-carrying member. Yeah, I could say that they're a large, flaccid member, but of that we shall say no more. Couldn't we just turn Lagan and Lucille loose on the lives with COVID juice to inoculate them? Yeah, and that's the other thing too about Negan's bat. It was a vampire bat. It needed blood. That's right. It needed blood. Where do we get it? Well, if you're the unlucky Asian dude, spunk, you got clocked, man. Oh, that was like one of the possibly the most brutal episodes I think I ever saw of the Walking Dead was when dude was like, nope, bash, 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 caving in dude's head. It was like, holy crap, man, this is brutal. And not too terribly inauthentic either. It pretty much looked like he smashed dude like left, right, and center, and he was kind of fizzling out as he was getting bashed. That was absolutely frigging brutal. Oh man, I cannot begin to tell you how many times that guy was getting whomped on. It was just like you're like, oh man, dude is just getting. Well, he did have a baseball bat, so. And it's a long pop fly going over to left field. He's making a run for the bases, and dude's head is on home plate and bleeding. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. So anyway, screwing around and having fun here. I have heard some other scuttlebutt, which is Marine Corps phrase for just people talking about things in general, zeitgeist, and you picking up on them, and it's basically like rumors, and kind of like the ladies talking in the laundry room about things they've heard. It's rumors. Okay, all right. So anyway, I found I gotta click this off to actually see the full picture here. It was from a person by the name of Iris Figueroa. And she says, quote, my husband was transporting patients just about every single shift to the hospital with stroke symptoms. Every single time he asked if recently vaccinated. Answer is always yes. Last patient barely could speak. As they were doing the stroke test at home, he snapped out of it for a second, I'm reading the third person, looked my husband in the eye and said, quote unquote, help me. Took him to a level 1 trauma center. They stayed for his MRI. He had a massive brain bleed the day after his second dose. So obviously he got the 2-dose version, which would be not the Johnson & Johnson. Oh no, he got the mRNA. He always tells the ER doctor they just had their COVID vax. They don't acknowledge it or even make a note of it. He always says they're so annoyed, and he even mentions it. This explains why VAERS is so underreported. So frustrating. Yeah, this is the kind of scary crap that they don't want to talk about. And I actually know like ER nurses and NICU nurses, and they are telling me like they're getting stuff coming in the door that obviously they don't report. Yeah. That's the kind of bad juju that's going on right now. So it's underreporting the side effects and the traumatic events taking place from people who are taking, the 2-dose of the standard mRNA vaccination for COVID. Now, here's the thing that really kind of makes me trip up a little bit here is the problem is COVID is not a high fatality risk virus. It's got like a 99.469% survival rate. What's this? Abraham took it with style, though. Abraham. Yeah. Dude, the Asian dude getting bashed. Gator Red, appreciate you coming on by, dude. I tired 900 last week of April and 1,700 and 13,200 on a truck oil change. Dead ass tired hauling. Trailer, PS, vax test, rats, all died, none lived. Ooh. Yeah. Wow. That's bad juju, dude. Let's see. Scrolly. This one cracked me up. A lady at Walmart, this is obviously a meme, but a lady at Walmart, are you vaccinated? Me. Do you like anal? Excuse me? Well, I thought since we were asking questions that are none of our flipping business, it seemed fitting, being that you clearly have no issue with still taking it up the ass by the government. I'm going to do that. If the next person that asks me if I'm vaccinated, I'm just going to look at them and go, so, are you more into BJs or anal? What? I mean, since we're asking these really, really personal questions, I figured it would just slide. Blah blah. When do we get invade China for the Wuhan flu? Patriot fever. I've been kicking around this one idea, and I bounced off one of my friends. And essentially, what it is this: you in the world court, you sue China for damages. You then tell China, look, this is what's going to happen. You owe us X amount of dollars, or we're allowed to take a small tactical nuke and drop it into your major infrastructure, your power plants, your high population areas, your growing areas, or your government facilities. Our choice. Every country afflicted and affected, and you use small nukes, mind you, small, not like, like the Tsar Bomba or something like that. You use small nukes. Read like something on par with, I don't know, maybe smaller than like Nagasaki, but something tactical. Something that's going to ruin an area for about a 2-kilometer area, just done. Toast. Boom. Gone. Splat. Flat. Glassed area, completely dead-ass people laying everywhere, smoldering. Now, that's the thing, is I think every country should say, look, you've expended this virus upon us. Obviously, we should respond in kind. So, my damage is X amount of people dead, X amount of money lost, X amount of this, that, and the other thing. And when we do the math, we come up with 13 nuclear weapons. And then you come up with another country going, yeah, we're affected with this much and everything. We might only have 1 nuclear weapon. But every country around the planet then has the opportunity to go over to China and expend 1 round of nuclear weaponry upon their place of choice. China goes, well, we did this. Obviously, the whole world's against us now. If we even screw around with this stuff, they're going to say to hell with the small nukes. They're going to break out the big nukes. And they're going to ruin it for us so completely that we will have absolutely no government ability to deal with the survivors. We will have no ability to run the place. We will have absolutely no infrastructure left. And by the time it's all said and done, we'll be basically living about the 1400s back when we were playing around with gunpowder and not so much with playing around with nuclear weapons. That, to me, is a fair response to all this stuff. Or you simply have some more fun with it and you say, you know what? Here it is. Little Kim, we're going to give him the nukes and he can choose where to drop them in your country. Let's see. Somebody recaptured the Hitler bunker meeting from oh, dude, those are infamous. I actually did one of those myself, and it was a lot of fun. It was hard to fit the text, but it was a lot of fun. The only downside is I know what they're saying to some degree in Der Untergang, which is basically the downfall. I understand a smattering of German. So when those things are reading off and it's like the text does not even match what the German text is, in my head as I'm like understanding it, what was it? Like something or other. They said it was Befehl. Befehl. I gave them an order. It was an order, and it's like, it's like completely the wrong text. It's just so funny to me. But yeah, the Untergang being, reimagined. It's absolutely. It's still funny too. And the guy that played Hitler, the actor, I forget his name. It actually was a really cool dude. And he did some other work, died a few years ago, but he did some other work too that was kind of not really memorable, but fun to watch. And they did an interview with him, and he goes, I think it's really funny. He goes, obviously, it doesn't match with the guy speaks fluent English. He goes, it really doesn't match with the German, but yes, I get the humor in it. And yes, it is funny, but it's very distracting to hear it in German and try to read it in English. And then the director, I believe, or the producer of Der Untergang was also interviewed, and he said similar. It's like, it doesn't match up with the German in the slightest, but it's still funny as hell. Those people really had a lot of good times with it. So obviously they're Germans with a sense of humor, and they're getting it because they think it's funny. Let's see. Patriot Fever also says, I wonder lately if social media is somebody behind all of this. All this to female, even more people rely on during the lockdown. I don't get what you're saying, dude. Friend fell in a hospital. Relations, stay away. Yeah, I get it. Right. Sometimes it's really sad with those guys going to get treatment. Did you make the one about sniffing the carpet for cheese? No, it was quite a bit more body than that one. I don't even know if I remember what the title of it was, but I remember when that Untergang thing was kind of on the cusp of being like, not a thing anymore. And I made one and I posted it up on I think I posted it up on YouTube. I don't know how I managed to make it work, but yeah, it was really funny. Or I did it with the annotations and pulled a copy of it and then put it up myself with annotations. The only problem is a lot of the older videos had annotations from YouTube because I wasn't using good enough video editing where I could put in my own text. So as soon as all that stuff just went by the wayside, YouTube just turned all that off. And sometimes some of the videos really don't make a whole hell of a lot of sense, but I had fun with the annotations when they were. Friend related to me, family COVID-19, tells the mass need to later pay for the lab bills. Oh, dude. Patriot Fever says, damn Siri is changing my words. Well, I got Bixby, okay, because I have a Samsung. I was using Bixby to great, success usually. Most of the time when it screws up, it's like, dude, Google search. And then I'll just hit the mic button on Google search and I'll just do it directly rather than going through Bixby. And most of the time I'll just do that. But the problem is now they're like, you need to update Bixby. It's like, why? It was the same Bixby as what it was previously. And now you're saying I need to update it so it works? Guess what? I'm not using Bixby. Last part is a paid lab to make virus leader in computer guy, Microsoft. IT creator. Make virus RT leader in computer guy, Microsoft. Oh, yeah. There's all that whole crossover thing with like some people playing with the hard technology and like that whole thing with Bill Gates. And, I want to make sure that everybody has the inoculation, or I want to feed them this type of food, or I want to have population control. Bill Gates he's not the Bond villain that he thinks he is. He's really kind of a suck up, just moron. I mean, yeah, you really don't impress me. Gator Red Money people. Yeah, absolutely, dude. Absolutely. Scroll. Let's see. Oh, this one is freaking awesome. I reposted something from Project Veritas. Project Veritas has got the goods on Facebook. Mark Zuckerberg right now is probably going. He's probably got a butthole so tight you couldn't punch a 10-penny nail with a sledgehammer through it right about now because he knows the jig is up. They are now going to be seen as pretty much a utility. And they're going to say, well, since you're a utility, you now can fall under prerequisite laws for, I don't know, trust violations or RICO Act type stuff. Or, by the way, you can get fined by the states. Yes, that's right. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis signed Bill SB 7072 into law. That's right. Big tech censorship has been exposed and banned all in a single day. James O'Keefe was proud to stand by the Florida governor as he signed the bill into law, holding social media accountable for partisan platforming. That's such a it's almost like a Daffy Duck word. It's deplatforming. Just
you're despicable.
No, you're deplatforming. It's not despicable. It's deplatforming.
You're despicable.
You're deplatforming. So anyway, the bill is important as Veritas goes inside Facebook and exposes how Facebook has been silencing dissent. And here's the best part about it. There's going to be, per day, either a $25,000 or a $250,000 fine applied to Facebook. Now, let's just do the math, shall we? If we just do this as a prerequisite thing, and I'm just going to pull out the non-official, 80s podcast channel calculator, also known as my phone. So 250,000 times 365. And that's just one person affected. That's $92,250,000. How many people have been deplatformed? I have. They killed my original, my first, my main Facebook page. I want it back. I know you assholes got it archived somewhere. I want it back. FamilyNet, I want it back, and you want me to pay for every single day. It has been locked out of my personal use, all my contact information, all my generated artwork, all my content. I want it back. Okay? I want it back. I want to be able to access it. If nothing else, I want to be able to pull it off of Facebook, archive it into my own storage medium, read like Mousy Tail guy here, where you'd like put it into my own private stack of stuff so you buttholes can't do this again. DeSantis is freaking awesome, man. Trust me, in my heart of hearts, if Mrs. Dude was not a career government employee locked into this location, if I in my heart of hearts could do it, I'd be down in Florida in a heartbeat, man. If nothing else, fresh fish year round like you don't want to know. If nothing else, okay, a lot of really hot chicks wearing less clothing. Yes, I could probably deal with that. Never mind Gator. I actually like Gator. Gator's really tasty. Just all kinds of yummies down there. Yeah. So anyway, good stuff like that there is now coming up by the wayside. Facebook is just butthole so tight. That's right. I am sure that Mark Zuckerberg is just he's very, very, very worried right about now. All right, so let me scroll. I don't know if you guys saw this or not, and I'm not going to get into it to too much of a terrible degree, but Hollywood is begging, and I do mean begging you to go back to the theaters to watch movies and whatnot. Now, there's a reason why I like watching videos on, I don't know, pretty much like the stuff that Mrs. Dude's got. I mean, we got Disney Plus, we got Netflix, okay? Now, the other thing too is that the white elephant in the room is if you know where to find it on the internet, there is Russian movie sites that have free movies if you know where to look. And yes, I have a couple of those stashed just in case. Now, the thing about it is I really like watching the videos by myself. Simple reason. I got a pause button. So if I need to basically squirt, pause, go hit the restroom, come on back. Oh, I want to get something to drink. Go in the kitchen. The movie's not going on and I'm missing the best scenes of where stuff's blowing things, up, or somebody's doing some chopped soggy scenes, or like the good chase stuff, or, you get back to your seat and you're like, so what did I miss? And the other person's like, oh, you just missed the best part of the movie. And you're like, man, come on. So yeah, anyway, that's the reasons why I like watching the stuff online. I can eat my own stuff at home. I got a pause button. I'm not going to go broke trying to get $6 sodas and $8 popcorns. Yeah. And the other thing, too, is also I'm not supplying funding to the source media of libtard-related woke horse mess. So you know what? You guys can wither on the vine. I'm not buying, and I'm really not missing the big screen experience. Really. Let's see. Oh, dude, yeah, they refer to Florida as the Gunshine State for a reason. It's the Gunshine State, not the Sunshine State. It's the Gunshine State. Yeah, that's the other one. Patriot Fever says in the room. They really haven't made anything worth watching. Oh, they're going to bring back the Mandalorian and they're going to kill him off. They've already leaked that out. It's like, okay, you're killing off the main character. You pretty much have booted off the one hot chick that we all really liked because she was a badass. Oh, no, she said something in her Twitter account that we didn't like, so now she has to be social justice warrior, woke removed. I really liked, the Cara Dune character. I thought she was kind of cool. They kept her underplayed enough that she was still cool. It wasn't like, they were like, here she is. See her, she's all over the place. Look at the boobs. It wasn't like that at all. But the thing about it is also they pretty much have, they've been producing caca. Okay, let's just be honest here. Okay, if you want to get really down and dirty, Hollywood has not made something good in the longest time, and they've been making, they've been making a lot of. I mean, it's like when you get into the movie theater and it's like the first 5 minutes in, you're like, that cost me like X amount of dollars. That was a lot of money to spend for something that's just making me go, yeah, why did I spend all that on that one? That one is just not good. I just feel like walking over and just grabbing a pencil and just going, just working the eyeballs out, because I know that I pretty much have supported those guys financially, politically. I am diametrically opposed to, and it's really not good juju. So, scrolly. This is classic. I posted this one up on Facebook. If you guys caught it, this is going to be a revival, but it was fun. This one just tickled me. Let's see. Scroll. Okay, guy says he's anonymous. Is obviously a Reddit post, so I'm gonna have to edit out the F-bombs and what have you. But the anonymous posted this up on 5/23/21 on Sunday, 17/51/42. So basically almost 6 p.m. Quote, working at the IT department in a bank. Company currently joined the woke train, and now we get all kinds of workshops on why straight white men are the devil. Rolls eyes. None of the director VPs are of color. People start to insert moronic she, her, and him or him into their signatures. I get so annoyed by this, I insert they, them in my signature. One of my colleagues, quote, and one of the drivers behind this whole moronification of signatures, asked me about my signature. This is where it gets good, folks. I reply, quote, I don't think it's appropriate to talk about these things at work. Please just respect my pronouns, end quote. This person gets mad, accuses me of mocking the pronouns. I think, F-word blanket, no way for her to prove it, and step to the HR to complain. Colleague is being asked to stop her questioning and gets her first official warning, but still brings it up 2 more times. I go to HR again. She gets her second official warning. I'm enjoying that this moronic S-hit word is now biting the proponents in their ass. Again, she's alluding to my pronouns not being genuine during a meeting. I make a big scene of it, lols. And HR gets involved again. Last Friday was her last day. Hoisting libtards by their own woke petard. Oh, that is just bloody glorious. That's just got to happen more, And I have done similar before, but it wasn't like the woke thing. It was more a case of just people just being snarky in a way that never really truly should be happening, and just being just genuinely just a-hole. This is interesting. The Joe Kaka thing is starting to happen now. Quote, it happened in every state, end quote. MyPillow CEO Mike Lindell announced on Steve Bannon's War Room podcast Tuesday morning he will present, quote unquote, a royal flush of voter fraud evidence to the Supreme Court in July. Holy crap, man. And that's the other thing too, is there's been 3 or 4 states now. They're like, yeah, the accounting is saying this is really sketch. It's not cool. Not into it. Not good. Sliding over to the gun rights side of things, and this is exceedingly cool. If any state would do this, I would have thought they would have done this just like as their state charter just years ago. But I think what this is actually this is the stamp on top of the stamp on top of the bedrock in which is placed to simply say this is how it is. But another state is now going towards gun freedom. That's right. It has now been presented to the governor. And a bill legalizing permitless carry of handguns in Texas is on the brink of passage after a compromise was reached. The agreement advances the legislation even closer to becoming law. Governor Greg Abbott has said he will sign such a proposal. Quote, a bill to allow permitless carry of handguns in Texas on the brink of reaching Governor Abbott's desk after the State House and Senate reached a compromise on the bill. The author of the legislation, Representative Matt Schaefer, Republican, Tyler, Texas, announced the deal in a statement Friday, and the Senate sponsor, Senator Charles Schwertner, Republican, Georgetown, Texas, issued a subsequent statement also acknowledging an agreement just before midnight on Sunday. The House approved the deal in an 82-62 vote. It never should have been that close in Texas. Those guys in Austin, they're getting a little bit too purple in the state of Texas. The Senate is expected to approve the new version soon. Quote, by working together, the House and the Senate will send Governor Abbott the strongest Second Amendment legislation in Texas history and protect the right of law-abiding Texans to carry a handgun as they exercise their God-given right to self-defense and the defense of their families, Schaefer said. Abbott said he would sign the law into constitutional carry proposal. Schaefer's House Bill 1927 would eliminate the requirements for Texas residents to obtain a license to carry handguns if they're not barred by state or federal law from possessing a gun. A text of the compromise released on Sunday. It keeps intact a number of changes that the Senate made to the House bill to assuage concerns from the law enforcement community, including striking a provision that would have barred cops from questioning someone based only on the possession of a handgun. The compromise version also reserves a Senate amendment beefing up the criminal penalty for a felon caught carrying to a second-degree felony with a minimum of 5 years in prison. Other Senate changes that survived was a requirement that the Texas Department of Public Safety offer a free online course of gun safety. Okay, now I really am not crazy about this cop walking up to you and going, Sal, you got a gun. What's the story on it? It's like, I got a gun. Go away. That's the story. Let me click off on this compromise thing here. I see what they're talking about. It's a PDF, so it's going to take a second here. But I'm really, the libertarian side of me is you're walking around with a firearm. The cops don't walk up to you. If they walk up to you, it's like, dude, no, I don't need to talk to you. Okay, go away. And this is going to be, the peace officer who's acting in the lawful discharge of the officer's official duties may disarm a person at any time the officer reasonably believes that it's necessary for the protection of the person, officer, or another individual. The peace officer shall return the handgun to the person before discharging the person from the scene if the officer determines that the person is not a threat to the officer, person, or another individual, and if the person has not committed a violation that results in an arrest of the person. Okay, I'm really not happy with that part right there. It's basically what they're saying is the cop can walk up to you and go, hey, let me see your gun real quick. Okay, the reason why I'm talking to you, and he's holding your gun. I don't like that. Peace officers acting in a lawful discharge of the officer's official duties may temporarily disarm a person when the person enters a non-public, secure portion of the law enforcement facility if the law enforcement agency provides a gun locker or the secure area where the police officer may secure the person's handgun. Peace officers may secure the handgun in the locker or the secure area and then return the handgun to the person immediately after the person leaves the non-public, secure portion of the law enforcement facility. So basically what they're saying is they're going to disarm you before you go in the police station, which is crap. Purpose for this subsection in law enforcement facility, non-public secure portion of the law enforcement facilities, meaning assigned in section 411.207 government code. I'm really, really not happy about that. But, it's like one of those situations where, I remember talking with somebody years ago. And it's actually the guy who shot his 10 millimeter. And he lived in Mississippi. So he's driving around. He's got a 1911 literally on the dashboard of the car. So the cop pulls him over and he's like, okay, so, I got this weapon here, it's loaded, it's live, this, that, and the other. What do you want me to do? And the cop's like, well, I'll tell you what, if you don't touch yours, I won't touch mine. Okay, here's my information. Basically, I think he got like a warning instead of a speeding ticket. But the cop was cool. It's like, dude, just leave it alone. I'm not going to do this, that, and the other thing. Other times, if you get pulled over by a cop and you happen to be carrying, some states say you should. Some states say you might. Other states say you have to make the police officer aware that you're carrying at the time in which a traffic stop takes place. And that's with a constitutional carry, non-constitutional carry. Some states ask for it, other states don't ask for it. The main thing is you just want to make sure the cop knows that you have one. If it is one of those states, it was a courtesy thing on me, and the cop was facing wrong side. I'd say, okay, I don't have. Here's my carry permit. I am carrying currently. It's on my dominant side, on my right side. Where do you want to proceed from here? Do you want to unload? Do you want to be a step out? What are we going to do? 9 times out of 10, the cop's going to be like, okay, I got your card, I got your license, I got your registration. Tell you what, let me just keep your hands where I can see you. We're going to be fine here, okay? That's 90% of the time how it works. The other 10% of the time, the cop will say, step out of the car. I will disarm you. Don't touch the gun. I'm not a fan of that at all, okay? Mostly because if you're going to engage the cop, you wouldn't tell him that you had a gun, okay? That's just, bad guys don't do that. Bad guys just basically pull on the cop and engage them. They don't just go, hey, man, I got a gun in the car. That's just not how it works. So on the libertarian side of me, really doesn't like that at all. You're going to make the cop aware that you have a gun. Well, excuse me, why doesn't the cop make everybody aware that he has a gun? Well, cops have guns. Why? Because they're public officials. They have to carry them openly. Yeah, I'm not a public official. I'm a private citizen. I'm not required to follow the same prerequisite laws that you guys do as policy and written law. I'm different because I am a free citizen. I am not emancipated under the gun, literally, of the guy who's running the place. Okay? That's how that one works. So let's see. Scroll. I'm going to have to cheat a little bit and jump over to the maggot book side of things. So hopefully things don't crud out completely. So give me 1 second here. And I'm going to cheat harshly and, look over on my Facebook side of things. So let me do that real fast. I still haven't gotten banned. I mean, it's been almost a week, and I don't know if I would say I've been trying, but I've been doing stuff, and I'm really surprised that stuff still hasn't got me booted. This one is comic gold. I cannot begin to bring this one to you, but this one is also gun related. Oh, jeez, this one is good juju. This one is very, very good juju. Okay, those pious, non-penitent, hardcore, I hate guns and you own guns, you're bad type of people. Yeah, it's one of those types. But anyway, the Rochester mayor, Lovely Warren, her husband has been charged as part of a 7-month narcotic ring investigation after police $60,000 worth of cocaine, $100,000 in cash, 3 unregistered handguns, and 3 semi-automatic rifles in raids on the mayor's home and 6 other properties. Timothy Granison, 42, was pulled over by police in his car Wednesday as part of the drug trafficking probe and found in possession of a large quantity of cocaine, authorities said. Well, that's like her husband. And it's very interesting because you consider that Warren is a member of Michael Bloomberg's Mayors Against Illegal Guns, or MAIG. The very name is deceitful because essentially they want to make all guns illegal, including handguns and semi-automatic firearms. Yeah, but if you think about it, raided her place and 6 other properties. What is this chick up to? And the other side of it, too, is she's enabling this guy to sell quantity. Does that maybe raise all kinds of red flags for what kind of election funding she did? Yeah, but that's the other thing too, is these Democrats pull this crap, and it's the classic Alinskyite thing. You accuse people of what you're doing. That way, you defray the blame. It's a Milo. You defray the blame away from you, and you place it on the other people who then have been nuanced in such a way that they can't accuse you of doing the same thing of what you are now doing because you accused them first. So like I've always said, and this has been one of my standard statements forever, if you ever really want to know what a liberal is up to, just listen to them. They tell you. They actually tell you what their mechanizations and modes of operation are. What are you doing there, Mr. Milo? You're like squirting around on me. Well, anyway, let me pop him off. There you go. So anyway, it was kind of like one of those cat claws kind of encroaching on danger zone. I was like, no need to get clawed balls. Yeah, clawed balls. He's the guy that runs around screaming with a cat attached to his crotch. Yeah, clawed balls. Anyway, but yeah, it's the very just starkly honest thing about liberalism. They describe exactly what they're doing by accusing other people of doing it. All right, this one also is kind of a cool gun story, but this one on the other side of the coin, this is where for a fact you wanted to be armed. Yeah, it seems, there was a couple guys walking around, 3 guys bow hunting. They were walking around to the East Fork of the Wind River near Lander, Wyoming. So they're walking around on their hunting grounds, bows in hand, and an old boar grizzly bar suddenly charged them with a few yards left of their approach. They'd set up a base camp, rode the horses in. Terrain got too sketchy, so they basically bailed out, tied off the horses and kept on going. So he said it covered about 500 yards from the horses when it happened. They heard loud crashing noises above them to their front left. The lead hunter started to reach for an arrow, thinking it might be elk, and he saw a grizzly coming at him. He dropped the arrow and bow and drew his Taurus 1911 45 ACP, yelled at the bear, and started backing away. As the bear saw the other two hunters behind the lead, it momentarily paused, giving him time to rack the slide and chamber around. Why are you carrying a 1911 empty chamber? It is not built to do that. The way you carry a 1911 is cocked, locked, ready to rock. There's a reason why it's designed like that. Unless you hit that grip safety and pull the trigger, it is not going to fire. The 1911 was designed to be cocked, safety on, in a holster, and most holsters usually have a strap that crosses over the back of the slide and blocks the hammer for that weapon system. So anyway, the Taurus had 8 rounds in its magazine. So he was using a modern magazine. Obviously, one goes up the pipe, 7 more shots after the initial. The pause was momentary, not a full-on stop of the charge. The lead hunter was able to start shooting from a range of 6 feet. The grizzly grabbed the lead hunter by his left thigh, and the hunter went down with the bear on top of him. As the bear closed with the lead hunter, the middle and last hunters had seen the bear, drop their bows, drew their pistols, and here's where things got interesting, folks. Dude had the 1911 45 ACP. The other 2 guys had a 44 Magnum and a 9mm. They started shooting. With the lead hunter down and the bear in his lap, he put the 45 against his head and shot his last 7 rounds. The bear went limp. The lead hunter was able to crawl out from under the big bear. Shortly afterward, the bear was trying to see to move, and the hunters fired 2 more rounds in the chest cavity from the side. The hunters estimated that he'd fired 19 cartridges at the bear. 8 rounds of 45, 6 rounds of 44 Magnum, and 4 rounds of 9mm. The event occurred on 20 September 2014. Detailed records of the incident were discovered in the reply. Freedom of Information Act request about bear attacks. The hunters rode back to the base camp. They were able to access a cell phone, make this, that, and the other thing. So at the scene, they collected 12 cartridge casings, including 9mm, 45, and 44 Magnum. They examined the bear, which was an old male with worn teeth. So now this is one thing you guys really got to understand about bears. Old bears are dangerous bears because they have only 2 things going for them: death and easy prey. So the teeth being worn down means dude wasn't getting like that whole, chomp like you usually see when bears light people up. It is like a full-on chomp, like all kinds of massive grip strength and these really huge canines, these submolars and these chewing teeth, because bears are built like us. They're omnivores. They eat everything from live animals to live plants, and of course, everything in between. So they have roughly about the same kind of teeth that we got, but they got big honking canines. So they will do some serious damage to you. So anyway, that bear's teeth was worn flat because he was old. They eat a lot of stuff, rocks, dirt, whatever gets in there, and they wear their teeth down as they get older. So when they get old, and of course they're not so able to hunt, they go for the easy prey. Thinking people is easy prey for somebody that's armed with a firearm means that's the last mistake usually that bear makes, or if the guy gets really unlucky, it's dinner time for the bear. So going back to it, basically it zapped the bear at least once. They concluded the hunters had shot and killed the old boar grizzly in self-defense. So it worked good for those guys. The grizzly had been feeding on white bark pine nuts a few yards off the trail. They took 4 bear paws and the bear head. Obviously, it'll leave the rest of the bear behind. After reports were filed by the special agent for the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, met with the assistant U.S. state attorney, assigned the case on 20 November 2014. They determined the shooting of the bear was self-defense, and under self-defense perception of the law, it was recommended the case would be declined for prosecution. I should hope so. On 3 December 2014, a special agent received a letter of declaration from the Wyoming United States Attorney Office determining the shooting was in self-defense, thus not a violation of the law. The investigation is recommended to be closed. The attack appears to be unprovoked. There were no cubs. Bear started charging the hunters for they were in the vicinity. Bear started from only 8 yards. The hunters were able to draw their pistols and direct effective fire in order to stop the attack. While the bear was grabbing the lead hunter by the thigh, the combination of clothing, worn teeth, and quick shooting by the victim appears to have prevented any need for hospitalization. If there had been any penetration of the victim's flesh, some medical treatment would have been necessary. None was mentioned in the Freedom of Information report. All 3 hunters were interviewed a few hours after the attack. No mention was made of a trip to the hospital. I'm sure dude had a good bear bruise, though. In the investigative documents, it was mentioned the incident had been posted on Facebook with pictures. The correspondent who did the story for AmmoLand was unable to find those posts. It is likely most defensive use of pistols against bears are not reported in public media, especially if no hospitalization of people are required. Readers are encouraged to report any incidents of defensive use of pistols against bears that are not recorded in the latest updated database of known and documented incidents. Send the information to somebody else, Dean Weingarten via AmmoLand. All incidents to be documented is included, whether the defensive action was successful or not. So basically what this guy is saying is they want to have a database of why the bears are going after people, basically deciding that they're tasty, go to town on them. But that's probably one of the most dangerous animals you're going to encounter is two ways. It's going to be an old animal, teeth are worn, not able to chase the fast prey anymore. People are just easier. And then you have mom, and you have mom with cubs. So you have mom with cubs. There's two reigns of reckoning of dealing with a mom with cubs. Number one, you get big. You stand up, you make yourself a quote unquote another bear, and you go away. She sees you're retreating, and most times she won't charge you if you're not a threat to the kids. However, there's been more than a few occasions where mom's in a piss off and she'll take a charge at you. The very first thing you do is put a couple rounds out. If you can't put a round out, you put a round in her. It's going to suck, but unfortunately, it comes down to the point of her against you. You win. You got the gun. Bears are definitely one of those things you really, truly need to worry about when they have the kids around. Now, in the scheme of things, there is the whole stack of guys. Polar bears, absolutely, they'll just take you down in an instant and consider you just a big seal. Grizzly bears, they're in permanent piss off. That's why they can be ranging towards the endangered list, because grizzlies are just they're like Wolverine. They're just like the claws come out and they want to start swiping on everybody. It becomes a time where the grizzly bear is there. You have one of two choices: either you're gonna take the grizzly bear on, or the grizzly bear is gonna hear a couple shots and go, "This guy's not so easy. He's got a firearm." Grizzlies are absolutely brutal, and they will just take you down at a moment's notice. I mean, that's really what they're built for. Black bears and brown bears, obviously, you're going down the scales. I think blacks are actually smaller than browns, but it tends also in your region. We've had some black bears in Maryland that have been over 250, 270 pounds. That's a pretty big black bear, but they have gotten bigger in other areas where the food is more available. And of course, there's, obviously more areas to feed on, less invasive species, namely us. So, but yeah, I mean, those two guys, the brown bears and the black bears, they're usually the wimps. They see people and they go, and they go running off. Unless they have kids. Any female with kids is not going to be good. The males are known as boars. The females are known as sows. A sow with kids is never good. Now, the other thing, too, is also a boar encountering a sow with kids. She's just going to pounce on him and just, it's just going to be full-on scrap fest. She's just not going to tolerate him in the slightest, because what happens is what normally happens is, male bears will kill the kids and try to impregnate the mom to make his genes being the pervasive one in the area. But yeah, two bears. Oh, jeez. It turns into a cat fight, okay? I mean, there's no other way around it. You simply see these two bears basically hating on each other. And, they just look at it and go, "You! Oh, yeah? Well, you're one of... Yeah, well, I got something for you." Then it just goes downhill from there. Bears are just ridiculously powerful animals, and they will really, really ruin your day. But this time, Yogi picked the wrong pick-a-dick basket and got some lead injection for his troubles. Let's see. Scroll. Let me see if anything else jumping at me. Most of my stuff I've been posting up recently has been pretty much just really snarky towards Mark Zuckerberg. Why? I don't know. It's just been fun. So I've been doing that. Okay, coming on about the 10 o'clock, 10:15 time period is probably going to knock this thing down in an hour. Obviously, I got to get my goat smelling self in the shower and take care of business and get rolling out. Obviously, Mrs. Dude's going to want to have some quiet time where I'm not, railing away in the next room. But appreciate your kind attention, you guys coming in, me being belated and what have you. I truly, truly appreciate the kind of attention you guys give me. I know you got many other choices to make. There's many other venues to be had, trustfully. You can be said in the internet and pretty much anywhere else in terms of entertainment options. What? Did you want to climb up? It's an orange. Come on. Oh, I can't look. If I look, he won't jump. You gonna jump? He's staring up at me beatifically like, I really want to jump on you. Come on. Okay. Yes. You see the tail. This means this is the antenna of catitude. So we know the orange is present. Yes. Hi. All right. So anyway. Oh, geez. Cat fight. All right. So let me break off with this one, folks. Appreciate your kind attention. You guys hanging out with me tonight. Do be sure to check out Around the Cabin is starting to do things again. Be sure to check them out on Around the Cabin, roundthecabin.com, roundthecabin.com/campfire. Roundthecabin.com also showing up on the Facebook side of things. There's a couple different venues on there, all good stuff like that there. Do be sure to check them out at your leisure. And hopefully Rich is going to be putting out more stuff. He's been posting a few videos, but, it's like one of those things where I guess just life intrudes. He's actually had to do some other stuff on the side. His wife's had some health issues, so he's got other stuff going on. But, charitably, hopefully he'll be putting out some more items. He has posted up some videos up if you check him out on his timeline on Facebook. So good stuff like that there. Be sure to check his stuff out. And I will break off on this one. Eat good, keep your ring as always. You know what? You love it. You guys hung out with me. You get a gold star for attendance. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. So I'm going to break off on this one and catch you guys next week. Hopefully I'll start the video streaming on time and not 15 minutes late. I still can't believe I did that. I was just like, do look over. It's like, ah! I cannot believe I did that. But anyway, I'll catch you guys later. Have a good week and catch you guys later. See ya.